What is going on, YouTube? We are here, YouTube Play of the Day. Obviously, usually I pass the prop at this time, or at least an hour before. So, obviously, want to get out a play for you guys today, just because obviously we're not doing the show. So, want to make sure I still get a play out for you guys. As always, as everybody's popping in here, I'm going to do a quick recap. Unfortunately, it's been a weird week for me, man. It's been a really weird week. Joe Ryan looked fantastic against the Yankees. They only scored one run off him. A Cody Bellinger homer. I did post just a Twitter play yesterday, and of course, there's like 2 or 3 unearned runs in the first inning, and it's 3-3 in the first. I think it ended up being 9-4. And I had the alt under there. And I'm just sitting there like we just gave up 4 runs that should not have been scored here. And obviously that would have been fine under there, but it is what it is. It's baseball, and that's why when we're able to put up the winners and stuff, obviously I feel a lot better about it, right? Because obviously I know how hard it is. I've been doing this long enough, been coaching, playing, and recruiting, whatever it is, for a long time. So, yeah, I know how hard it is to play a clean game of baseball. I get it. So it moves us down to 25.08. I got to keep getting these rolling, obviously. Don't feel good when I lose money myself, but obviously I feel a little bit worse losing you guys money. So we got to get this going here. I think we've lost our last 3, but we were pushing 30 units before. Now obviously got to get those back. Got to get a few more winners here. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, obviously drop those in the chat. I'll try my best. I've gone through most of the slate already. Do not think this is going to be a DK day for me, just because I don't think I'm going to be – it's too big of a slate. I don't like these huge ones, unfortunately for me. But first game, Cub game, starts in about 20 minutes. So if you guys have any questions, I will try my best to get to everything. So let's just get right into it. I'll pop in and drop this play, and then if anybody has any questions, comments, concerns, I will – get to those. So only play for free play today is going to be, I'm going to play the Arizona over 11.5 at -122. This is on FanDuel right now. His best price in market at -122 there. Most of them are at 12. I am going to probably fade Fott another way as well. It's just I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, just because this is what I want. I want Fott in Coors. You have Tanner Gordon on the other side, who obviously is not very good either in this game as well. Yeah, I'll get into each side here just because when I look at Savant numbers and see as much blue as I'm seeing, it's pretty tough to see either one of these guys getting very deep in this game. I kind of like the under 17.5 outs as well, but I'm going to roll with this one here. So Tanner Gordon, obviously right-handed pitcher for the Rockies, has been terrible this year. He has a 1.89 whip with an 8.37 ERA. Almost half a strikeout an inning, I guess. It's pretty bad. Or 0.6 strikeouts per inning. Just not missing bats, right? He has a 13% K rate with a 5% walk rate, so I do like seeing him allow guys to put the ball in play. This Arizona team still has power. I know we're missing Josh Naylor and Eugenio Suarez, but you still have Ketel Marte. I love Geraldo Perdomo in the 3-hole. And Blaze Alexander's taking a huge step forward over these last couple of weeks. So still think there's enough power on the side to get to Tanner Gordon. My issue with Tanner Gordon is just gives up a lot of barrels, a lot of hard hit contact, 44% hard hit rate, but he's got an expected slugging of 524. He's got an expected batting average against of 327, right? An expected ERA of almost 6, which is actually two runs better than what his actual ERA is, which, I mean, maybe he's getting unlucky, but, I mean, if you're consistently giving up barrels and getting balls hit this hard off you, obviously you're not going to, you're going to hope for luck, but that's not going to happen. And then you go over to Fott, and it's awesome because now his numbers are starting to get a little bit closer. I know I lost my last bet on Fott as well. He got me on the last one, but I'm still making profit on this dude. This guy finds a way to win me money when I fade him. Expected batting average over 300, expected slugging of 540, expected ERA of almost 6. He has a higher .594 to .598 is the expected numbers against for each one of these guys. Fott doesn't walk anybody. 19% K rate, 48% hard hit rate, expected slugging .540, like I mentioned. A lot of stuff you like here. My thing is with Fott is not only does he have a 12% barrel rate, which is terrible, but his four-seam and sinker don't get misses, right? His four-seamer, 17% whiff. His sinker is a 9.6% whiff. That sinker being used 23% of the time has an expected slugging of .323. Crazy numbers on those, just not good. And his primary miss pitch or whiff pitch is going to be that sweeper with a 33% whiff. Well, I love taking guys who have to rely on that type of stuff in Coors, right? I like those types of guys. I want guys who use the changeup a lot more when they're in Coors. His changeup is used 15% of the time. I would say probably close to 90% of those pitches are two left-handed bats. So yeah, I think that this is going to be a spot where you see Carroll at the top. You see him going against obviously Tanner Gordon. It's going to be the chalkiest play in DK today. But then you look at the side of the Rockies, right? You got Tovar back. Bretton Doyle is playing better baseball, hit another home run last night. Then go down the list. Hunter Goodman's been really, really good. Like, do I think this team is good? By no means. But offensively in Coors, I think they can get to Brandon Pfaadt, especially a guy who gives up as much barrels as he does. Both of these pitchers are going to try their best to get deep in this game because both bullpens suck. 5.39 bullpen ERA for the Rockies. Arizona, 4.74. Horrible. 1.54 whip for Colorado, 1.42 for Arizona. And Arizona, obviously, without AJ Puck for a long time, Justin Martinez for a long time. There's both bullpens are taxed here, and they just don't have anybody, right? Obviously, Jake Bird was the best guy out of their pennies with the Yankees. Got DFA, didn't even get to make the roster, right? Arizona really doesn't have any back end guys that I'm afraid of either. So I really like this spot. I'm going to be playing it probably for 1.5 here, but 11.5 is a very generous price in my opinion. That FanDuel has given us 12 is what we're seeing everywhere else in market. So I really like this spot for Arizona to obviously just clobber Tanner Gordon and Brandon Pfaadt to do what Brandon Pfaadt does, and that's give up barrels. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, you can drop those in the chat. I'm just gonna take a look and see on Twitter right now if any other questions have scrolled through on those. Because obviously I will be here for a couple more minutes if we don't have anything else. I guess we could look at a couple other spots here. I kind of like this this Kansas City White Sox game for props. I know Noah Cameron's been really good, but usually I like to stay on his under strikeouts there. I'm actually very intrigued. Also, last thing I'll bring up before I get out of here, if we have no questions, is Andre Payante, dude. When are they going to give me? They just dropped his outs prop. I'm really pissed. It's minus 165 on the 15.5. I thought I'd get a little bit better price just because he's a ground ball guy. But man, I feel like if they would, I wish DraftKings would give you the alt under strikeouts. I feel like that would be where I would love to play that. Even though the Yankees strike out at a pretty high clip, I think this Yankees team could absolutely light this dude up today. I kind of lean the over there as well with Luis Gil. Really struggling out of the gate off the IL. So probably going to be a spot I find a way to play. I just don't trust Payante and just continues to just be consistent ground ball and just no strikeouts. So, yeah, it's going to be weird. Any thoughts on Jack Perkins over 5.5 Ks? I honestly don't like taking lefties against the White Sox, and that's what I was just talking about with Noah Cameron. I have to look up data on more recent games, but they've been really, really good. Like they've been I don't know if you guys remember the Christopher Sanchez game. They lit him up. Luzardo went deep, but he didn't strike. I think he only had 4 or 5 strikeouts. And I don't know. I feel like this is kind of a lay down type of game for Cameron here, just because I don't know. I don't want to trust him in this spot. I've seen way too many lefties against this White Sox team get hit around. Obviously, when you look at the lefties in this lineup, Colson Montgomery's been one of their best hitters. Benintendi doesn't really strike out at a very high clip, and then all the righty power. So I know Cameron has a very good changeup, very elite changeup, so that obviously will play into that. He's obviously been very, very good for this Royals team. But if anything, I'd rather go to the under for Savali, if anything, on those, just because I always kind of have to. It's always the Royals and the Blue Jays are my teams that I like to bet unders on, just because they're phenomenal at putting the ball in play, even though the Blue Jays are actually good and the Royals aren't. So, yeah, it just kind of adds on to it. I have no thoughts on Perkins, to be honest. I wish I knew a little bit more in this spot for him. I believe he's in the late game, right? He's facing the Angels. And I don't know, man. I've been off on these Angels, dude. They smoked Screwball. Obviously, Screwball got hit last night. He lost me a chunk of change last night because he was horrible. But he did hit my house prop, but got smoked on all my strikeout props. I don't know, man. It's always tough when I'm betting against the Angels right now because I can never get them right, so I'm just going to stay away. What's up, Justin? Barely got there on the last one with Pivetta under 2.5, Gilbert 6Ks. Yeah, Gilbert got to the 6. Pivetta obviously didn't really have to do too much when they're up 11-0 in like the second inning. Crazy. Played Arizona team total over 4.5 with Nats team total under 3.5. Interesting. I love the alternate team total looks, as always. Love the Arizona side. I just talked about that at pretty big length there. But yeah, I'm intrigued with the under in that game against Wheeler. I know Wheeler's been giving up some power. I'm not really worried about Nationals in terms of power because they have been terrible. And they just got rid of Lowe now. My only issue is just I know they've been stealing a lot of bases, but that's you can't really cap that, So 3.5, I feel like if they scored 4 runs against Wheeler in that bullpen after, these games have been flying under. I don't mind the under there either, just because we saw yesterday, 2-3, 3-2 in a much worse pitching matchup. Philly's offense just hasn't done anything for me either. So that's where this is tough because I've been fading Gore for a little while now, and now you almost have to rely on him. So you don't get to the 3-3 games where you get the guy on second base, So love the Arizona team total spot. I think that's a phenomenal spot as a parlay piece. But yeah, I think Wheeler should shove on him. I just don't know if I want to take strikeouts or if I want to take just out props or something because Washington obviously swings very early in counts and is one of the top ground ball teams in the MLB. So definitely like that spot. But yeah, just to answer that question, I do love that at plus money. I think that's a great spot. And yeah, nothing on the Jack Burkett spot. So we got 80 of you guys in here with us across Twitter and YouTube. If you're on either one of them, if you could hit that like button, we appreciate you. Helps us out a lot over here. Again, just a quick recap. I don't see any other questions. Just another quick recap. Arizona over 11.5 is going to be my best bet for YouTube play of the day. We'll track that. And this is on FanDuel exclusively. I don't mind the 12. But I'd really like to get to close to plus money here if I can, because obviously I'll take the 11.5 at minus 120 when I'm seeing a lot of these books at 12 at minus 110. So that I feel like that's a spot that I definitely want to go to. So looks like that is all we have today, guys. Don't see any other questions in the chat, so we should be good to roll. Appreciate you guys joining today. I'll talk to Stu obviously for the next show. I know he had something pop up here this week, so. Yeah, we'll have UFC tomorrow. I'll be ready for that. I have a wedding tomorrow. My wife is in the wedding, so we'll be doing that. But you guys know I'll get all my stuff out usually pretty early on those types of days. I'm gonna be watching. Hopefully nobody that's at this wedding knows who I am or knows me as PPS, because I'm gonna be watching and try to get those streams on my phone when I can for UFC. With the pay-per-view there. It's in Chicago, so that's obviously pretty cool too. So hopefully I don't get caught with my phone watching some fights during a wedding that my wife is in. So I'll be watching with some casuals, hopefully, and start teaching people some UFC if I can. So it's an exciting weekend. Obviously, we'll be heading up today. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. As always, most likely we're going to be back Monday with those. But just make sure you follow over on X if you want any other free plays action as well. Going to get back on track and get this rolling. Obviously, feel great about tonight's spots. So have a good one, guys. Best of luck. If you have any other questions, drop them in the chat, and we'll get to those as the day goes on. So have a good one, guys, and best of luck this week.